Hey fancy people! Today's video is part one in a two-part series requested by the Norway's family that covers alternate universes. Today we talk about DC Comics and next week we'll cover Marvel. So let's discuss 10 of my favorite DC Comics alternate universes right after the bump. For starters, let's kick off with the most prominent universe change DC has ever seen, the New 52. An ambitious mishmash of Earth 13, Earth 50, and New Earth universes, the New 52 constituted DC Comics' attempt to shake up the status quo and relaunch all of their major comic storylines. While many of the changes were just cosmetic, like Superman's costume getting updated to this sleek modular armor look, other important alterations included healing Barbara Gordon's paraplegia from the Joker's bullet in The Killing Joke, and abandoning Superman and Lois's existing relationship in favor of getting the Man of Steel together with Wonder Woman. These changes didn't last long, however, as DC scrapped it all again in favor of 2016's DC Rebirth. Number 9. Superman's Metropolis, 1996. Fritz Lang's 1927 classic film Metropolis is a cinematic masterpiece and an iconic example of expressionist cinematography. It's a stirring treatise against the evils of mechanization and oppressive governments. Let's throw Superman in there and see what happens. Gene Mark and Randy Lossifer and Randy Thomas's Superman Metropolis, with art by Kevin McCleaver, offers an Elseworld version of Clark Kent that toils in the fictional city of Lang's film. Here, Lois is a school teacher, Lex is the evil scientist Luthor who runs Metropolis, and the film's iconic robot Futura is just a pawn of Luthor. It's more than a tad derivative, but Metropolis is a wonderfully idiosyncratic what-if story on its own. Number 8. Superman, A Nation Divided, 1999. If you've ever imagined how the Man of Steel would have fared in the War of Northern Aggression, you're in luck. Roger Stern and Eduardo Barredo's Elseworld issue, Superman, A Nation Divided, has you covered. Here, Kal-El lands on Earth in the 1800s and becomes Atticus Kent, and stops the Civil War 2 years early in 1863. He even manages to prevent the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. This particular issue offers plenty of fun and alternate context in which to see Superman, including watching an old-school cannonball bounce off of him. What does Superman do when he's finally shown the spaceship that he arrived in? Well, he turns it into a metal horse, of course. Number 7. Superman Red Sun from 2003. What if, get this, Superman fought for truth, justice, and the Russian way? This was the central conceit behind Mark Millar's 2003 comic Superman Red Sun, which showed us an alternate world where Kal-El landed in Soviet Russia and grew up raised with communist values. Thriving in Stalinist Russia, Superman becomes Stalin's champion and eventually rules the Soviet Union after Stalin's death. Superman's status as a shining beacon of American values has always been the character's central trait. So flipping that conceit on its head leads to some intriguing explorations of the Man from Krypton. In addition to that, Red Sun turns a few other DC staples on their head. Batman is an anti-Soviet vigilante, while Lex Luthor becomes the president, because of course he does. Number 6. Flashpoint 2011. Another crazy multi-world shattering event, Flashpoint was a multiverse-spanning limited series by Jeff Johns and Andy Kubert, in which the canon universe Barry Allen, now without his powers in a strange universe, tries to regain them. Why? Well, to repair a disastrous universe that features no Justice League and a world war between Wonder Woman's Amazons and the Atlantean Empire, run by Emperor Aquaman, of course. Other details from the Flashpoint universe include the absence of Superman. In this world, Cyborg takes his place as America's champion, Thomas Wayne becoming the Batman after his son Bruce is gunned down, and Martha Wayne becoming the Joker. Number 5, JLA Age of Wonder from 2003. As with all other facets of nerd culture, steampunk has to make an appearance somewhere on this list. In the case of DC Comics, there are gears, vests, and monocles abound in the 2003 miniseries JLA Age of Wonder, which pitches a world where Superman lands on Earth in the mid-18th century and ends up working with Edison and Tesla to advance human society in incredible ways. Age of Wonder is an awesome throwback to the golden comic age aesthetic and the short films of Max Fleischer with a steampunk Superman dressed more like the Rocketeer than the Man from Krypton. Number 4, Home of the Zoo Crew from 1982. The number of rhymes in this script is too damn high. But furries rejoice, there are superheroes out there for you wackos too. In the early 80s, DC Comics released the last of their funny animal comic properties with Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. It featured a world made entirely of anthropomorphic animals and the heroes meant to protect them. In addition to Captain Carrot, whose powers I presume included 20/20 eyesight, the zoo crew also featured pun-tastic superheroes such as Pig Iron, Yankee Poodle, Rubber Duck, and Alley Cat Abra. Together, they successfully defended Follywood, California, yeah, you heard that right, from villains like Abraham Lincoln, who was a rather presidential-looking goat. Number 3, Dreamworld Animal Man 1990. Just say no! In the early 90s, anti-drug rhetoric was all the rage, and DC Comics got in on the action in Grant Morrison's Animal Man number 23, in which an entire world based around 60s and 70s drug culture was created. In this world, though, the main crew of superheroes to defend the world were the Love Syndicate of the Dream World, Sunshine Man, yes, named after the Donovan song, Speed Freak, and Magic Lantern. This whacked out world, it's Sunshine Superman who draws the most attention, having a strong black Superman with a big old afro and a yellow S on a red background is inherently intriguing, and he, along with the Flash and Green Lantern analogs that he's partnered with, make the DC universe look decidedly groovy, man. It's a wonder Puff the Magic Dragon isn't one of the reoccurring villains. Somebody please tell me that's true. Number 2, Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham from 2000. As one of DC Comics' most iconic superheroes, Batman has been recontextualized in his share of out-there high-concept universes. When it comes down to it, though, what's stranger than the works of H.P. Lovecraft? Mike Magnolia and Richard Pace's 3-issue miniseries Batman, The Doom That Came to Gotham, illustrated by Troy Nixie and Dennis Janke, slapped Batman in an early 20th century Gothic world where the evil wizard Ra's al Ghul is running a doomsday cult to dredge up otherworldly, world-ending beings from another dimension. Now, for a story that's basically the Caped Crusader punches Cthulhu in the face, The Doom That Came to Gotham is an exciting homage to one of horror's most influential writers. Also, did I mention that Batman punches Cthulhu because he does, and it's great. Number 1, Watchmen from 1986. While most DC multiverses just put a kooky or high-concept spin on established DC superheroes, like what if Superman was married? What if Batman was a reservoir dog? What if the Flash ran backwards? The granddaddy of all DC alternate universes is also one of the most acclaimed, Alan Moore's Watchmen. Here, Moore, along with illustrator Dave Gibbons, shows us an alternative 1985 in which Nixon is still the president of the United States, superheroes are forced to register or retire, and the world at large is at the edge of nuclear destruction. With its combination of complex moral questions about superheroism and iconic characters like Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan, Watchmen remains one of the most acclaimed written works in history. It is simply a must-read. So that's it for today. I'd like to ask you guys to please share this video on Twitter. In fact, I'm going to give a $20 Amazon gift card to one lucky winner next week. If you want to win, simply share this video on Twitter and tag me in the tweet at jparks. A random winner will be selected and announced next week when we talk about my favorite 10 Marvel Comics alternate universes. So if you're new here, I want you guys to do me a favor and hit that
Until next time, I'm Sebastian Pucks.